Hello, everybody. If you're new here, welcome. And to my regular fan base, welcome back. So, in this live video, I would like to discuss what we talked about in the last one. And there are many categories here for us to discuss in this very video. But one of the things I want to touch on first and foremost is let's start with the emotional responses. So I remember saying in the last video, if we make our child feel with every fiber of our positive energy, right? They will remember you. They will remember us as their fathers. And they do. My fans have seen a lot of Facebook stories from myself and my son lately where I have to see him supervised. However, if you see how happy he is, no matter where he has to see his dada, which is soul destroying as much as it is for me. It's even more harder and even more painful for the child, for my own son. But he's been conditioned, because I remember touching on when it was COVID time, and in the summer, everyone was losing their minds, everyone was shouting, the world was breaking down. You know what me and my son did? We played. I remember saying we got a choo choo set, choo choo, and playing and talking loud and just laughing. So my point is, he's been conditioned in his delicate brain towards finding a way um, to look at things in a positive light, because this will serve him very well later on in life. And that's how I always wanted to condition my boy's mind, and I'm glad I did my job there. I'm very humbled. But with emotional um, immersion, whether it was the playing in the garden example during COVID time, or whether it was special moments, so many golden moments we've shared, me and my son, I make him feel. I don't just take uh, him to like an event and ignore him and just sit there and not do anything like a lot of parents do. I'm always engaged. When he was with me, I was always engaged, no matter whether it was soft play, whether it was park, whether it was, exercise machines. I'd always be there cheering him on or playing with him. Always. Immersion. Now, this has proven to serve me really well, unbeknown to me at the time, but looking back, because of my current situation, with all the lies told about me. And I can't say too much here. There are breakthroughs that have happened, and we'll get to that. The leash is still on me. I can't reveal too much. I have to talk in a generic way still. Although the tide shifted really, really strong, and it's because of my emotional immersion into my son, his responses from where I see him twice a week, me videoing, documenting everything to an absolute, T, right? Seeing his joy, his happiness, his authenticity, his purity, my son's truth. This does not lie. And that's what I love about, It used to be the saying back in the day that the camera doesn't lie. That's what I love about this saying. It's like, no, these days, man, the audio, the screenshots, this doesn't lie, that doesn't lie, right? Speaking of screenshots, this will lead me into my next segue. So, with screenshots, there's always a timeline of truth that's left behind. It could be screenshots and it could also be voice recordings. And I'm going to double down on this momentarily, so stick with me here. But it's date stamps, screenshots, voice recordings, it's date stamps, right? And what I love about that is that when lies are told about you, or somebody says, oh, they haven't said this or that, you can just call them out and say, no, hang on, you did, and this was at that time. And then, you know, and that gives liars nightmares because it leaves a trail, right? Timeline leaves a trail. And liars, they panic when there's a trail left behind. Because liars, and especially compulsive liars at that, they are always thinking of in the moment. They're thinking of what to say, and like in the moment, right? And they can only envisage one, 2 steps ahead. Not like they can't plan. You know, they cannot plan themselves. Say an hour from now, 2 hours from now, because it's too much work for them in the tiny little pea brain. You know, liars, and of course, I'm making reference towards, shall we say, the person who's looking after my son right now. I can't go into detail here until the leash is off with proceedings, but all the authorities alike, because they've always been against me because of my past. But I chose to walk away. I chose to walk away from the system. These days, everyone's got a mental health problem. Everyone's effed up ever since COVID, and now it's understood. But back then, it wasn't. And I chose to walk away from a system that was destroying me inside, living with all kinds of issues. And the authority, they don't like that. It will be bad PR. It'd be embarrassing for them to admit, oh, this guy walked away, he got the house, he's got his business, he got a beautiful son, he realised his worth, right? They don't want that. So, yeah, I've been going through a lot of challenges with the authorities. For the last 6 years, I've been fighting for my son, going through meetings, this, that. It was never enough. It's never been enough. Although it's finally now, finally starting to come to an end. Not entirely, but it is starting to come to an end because, again, with like timelines, you see, I voice record everything. I'm accountable to a T, right? So there's a voice recording, and this is why they don't like that, social services or the authorities, people in power, because again, it leaves a trail, and it showcases emotion, it showcases tone, it showcases when somebody's rude or you know, you can just sense something's off by way of energy, right? That's why they hate it. What they would prefer is have the time to think and then just write something out, where they can lie and they've got their own space to do such. Not to be like voice recorded. That's why I say you can't voice record, but you absolutely can voice record. It's perfectly legal. And they don't like that. But when you know your rights and you're not messed around, it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful when you don't have to sell your soul to anybody and you can just not be a fake, excuse my language, a fake bitch. You can just be real to your core, like I am. Stand for your ground, stand for what's right, with strength, dignity, honour, right? And I've got many voice recordings that have been showcased, and as I say, timeline stamped and all these things to the point where now, and here's the breakthrough coming, where now I'm currently seeing a lady who's actually reporting to the courts, this is a great thing because it tells me that they're starting to realize that they fucked up. They're starting to realize that, wow, this guy isn't stopping. He isn't going to stop fighting for his son. And they've tried to break me, and boy, have they tried. And I'll be honest, it's very tough to keep it together sometimes. I was only told a couple of days ago that I won't get to spend my birthday with my own son because it falls on a Sunday. So I won't be supervised there, and I won't get to spend Christmas with my son. All I'll get is a phone call. Now I can't go into full detail here because, again, I'm in proceedings, as I keep saying. But um, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say, and put at the forefront is that there's a price to pay in this, and this kind of like really tipped me over the edge to the point where um, I've put in a letter of declaration that I'm going to sue for damages, and I've highlighted many points of time lost, work lost, fighting for my boy, lies that have been told about me, this has been done for money, intensive purposes, me refusing to originally um, give power as special guardian to a person who has done this for money. I can't say me refusing because I didn't. I wanted. I wanted at least, I wanted to have power over my own son's decision making because he lost his mum and I'm his dad. Yeah, and my son loves me. That's evident to everybody, right? I think that's obvious at this point. People know my situation. He lost his mum in the COVID-19, and it's been difficult. I can't go like and be specific entirely, because again, like this, it will just be too long to say, and I've got to be careful. But what I can say is that when I said no to this person as like special guardian and rejected her from this with what she wanted, she played dirty, and I mean reprehensibly, like diabolically, deplorably, filthy, dirty, and dragged up all my pasts, made lies, and has got a lovely carer's allowance now. Meanwhile, I have to clear my name, and I am clearing my name slowly, but yet strongly. Winning this fight, as put forth, there's a woman from the courts. We had, so I've been seeing her. So I saw her 2 weeks ago, Monday, and last Monday, and I'm seeing her again next Thursday. And she observed, in addition to the two appointments, she observed me and my son as well. And to me, it looks like she's realizing, yeah, wait a minute, this guy does love his dad. Wait a minute, this dad's been myself, like uses emotional immersion and generally cares about his education, generally is always wanting to be energetically in tune, doesn't do things by the status quo, you know, but always wanted to develop, always wanted to be encouraging, positive, joyous, playful. Sometimes we get serious and we chat deep. Many variables that I've opened eyes to her on. The thing is, before it wasn't working because the ladies, they were representing the local authority when I was being observed. But however, courts, they're different to the local authority now, aren't they? Meaning, again, it's to me, it's a great thing that she's been there, the woman who's reported to the courts, because um, it's a beautiful thing because the powers that be and the higher ups, it's um, it's going to dramatically change the game. That's my belief. And I get good vibes from her. We've had great chats. We've discussed, they've had questions for me about parenting, like things, you know, um, like for example, when should a child be left by the house by himself? And I'm like, well, it's subjective, it's individualistic. It depends on the characteristics of personality from parent to child. But I said to the lady, I think it should be sooner rather than later so that a child forges confidence and independence, right? And, I would say start training around 11 to like just gently prep them. And you could do that just as, this is how I answer just for a quick question. Like, you could do this by leaving the house and then, like, not even going far, just being in close eye proximity, 2 minutes, and staying out 10 minutes as a start. Just see if your child can handle it whilst having your door maintain eye vision. Well, why do this? Because it's going to give confidence to the child to be in the house by themselves. And it's important for the child to do this sooner rather than later, because if they're mollycoddled and then they get to the 14, 15, 16 teenagehood, what's going to happen then? They're not going to have any confidence. They'll lose their nerve. And teenagehood is obviously a pivotal, critical point behind finding a child's self. So this is just an example, yeah. But past the flying colours there, and the truth's coming out. And next January, we're in family court, so it's 3 more months from now. Feeling positive about it. There's 2 appointments booked in for next week. It's been a year and a half of emotional turmoil, truly. But these are the last 2 appointments I've got to undergo. And then after that, I can just relax for a bit. I've gone through the fire, the worst of it. It's cost me a lot of things: work, time, health. Health has really taken a hit. Physically, I've been very in a bad way lately, but I'm back now and I'm bouncing back. And I'm going to be stronger and better because of it. I'm going to always come back and I'm going to win my child back. I'm never going to give up on my son. I love him. I love my son. And, no one can take this away from me. I will always fight for my boy. But yeah. Oh, and what I wish to say as well is that keeping others accountable from lies told about you. There's a voice recording. I can share this, and I'll end with this. I shared, going back towards the lady representing the courts here, well, it's really good these days. You have WhatsApp and you can share like images, voice recordings. It's very easy now, regarding sending things like this, right? It's links, proof, whatever it is, right? Now, on a particular voice recording, going back to a timeline of authenticity and truth, or remember, let me take you guys back, my viewers. Do you remember when I mentioned about special guardianship and me not wanting to do that? Well, I showcased, not only did I share the link of that, but I also, from my voice recording app, I videoed on my other device. I videoed it, right? And it just said, special guardian evidence. I declined, so I just titled it like this. But in the video, the blue line was playing, and it was date stamps. So what is that? Why am I saying this? It shows when it's time stamped and when you can prove it's playing, and the blue line's next to the dates. And that's a big thing. That's what served me. How I've got things sorted out lately regarding this lady who's reported to the courts. Because again, people that F you over, or liars, or deceivers, who are trying to mess you about for their own agenda, their own selfish reasonings and ways, just thinking of themselves. It makes them panic when there's a timeline. And this particular timeline was in January. And we're in October now. So it goes to show you that, like, when I rejected special guardianship to her, because the person who's looking after my son currently and who's done this for money, So your next then plays really dirty. But the truth again, just get a carer's allowance, but the truth again is coming out. My boy, he will be with his dad again. He will. It's evident that, you know, he's so happy with me. People can see this, right? When I upload my stories. And, you know, in the end, the truth comes out. And it's coming out. And I know that in my heart and soul, he'll be with me again. You know, we're in family court next January. And there's going to be big shifts coming. Now, I really can't say too much else. And I've already gone over 20 minutes, so I think we'll wrap this up here. But I hope this has been insightful for people, or, you know, have been of help to a certain degree. And yes, it's my sincere pleasure towards being a beacon of lights for other people who are being fucked over by the system, or who are being messed about, lies being told about them by their ex, or you know, whatnot. Oh, one more thing. I've been there's a lady, a woman, who's so impressed with my parental annihilation series. She wants me to go on her radio show, and there's also a guy I'm working with as well, and that's another story for another time. But we're going to work together and really help out other men who are being messed around, and showcase how to win your child back with pure emotion and integrity and honor, purity and truth. So some big victories there as well. Anyway, much love everybody. God bless you. If you made it to the video till the end, thank you. And yeah, stay tuned. Got some big things coming. And me and my son, we're going to win this fight. I know this. Watch our comeback story. It's going to be epic. Much love, everyone. Peace.